We're on the record in cause number 327910, the state of Texas versus Andrew Holmes III. Mr. Holmes, Mr. Holmes, will you please raise your right hand? Mr. Holmes, do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Holmes, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Holmes?
I'm doing good.
That's good. Mr. Holmes, the information alleges that on or about September 14th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault family violence. Mr. Holmes, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge Mr. Holmes, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, Mr. Holmes, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Sir.
And Mr. Holmes, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Holmes, I have before me a document that is titled to the misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also referred to as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 1 of this document, the first box that's checked states that this is a Class A misdemeanor. And in this document, it states that a Class A misdemeanor is the range of punishment is confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 1 year, a fine not to exceed $4,000, or both such fine and confinement. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this document, below the paragraph that's titled waivers, on the line that says guilty, there are some initials. The initials are AP3. Are those your initials?
Yes, sir.
And below the paragraph that's titled discovery admonishment, there are some initials on the line that states that I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and chose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Are these your initials on this line, AP3?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, there's a signature and, on the same document on page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that says defendant. Is that your signature? I couldn't hear you. It's on mute.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Holmes, on the next document is the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. There's a signature above the line that says defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And there are 2 boxes that I've checked here on this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you have given up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you have an opportunity to review the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you review the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you reviewed?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Now, also, Mr. Holmes, prior to signing these documents, the court read to you the court's explanation, and you were informed that 1, you may hire an attorney, or if you did not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney to be appointed to represent you, or 3, you may represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And after the court finished the explanation of your rights, you informed the court that you wanted to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then the court read to you the waiver of counsel, which is located under the waivers in State's Exhibit Number 1 on page 2. And you informed the court that that was your desire, to waive your right to an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, State, I have before me State's I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Porms, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. The state would like to use this as evidence against you. State's Exhibit 1 is a document that have your initials on page 2 and your signature on page 3. The state would like to use this document as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence against you in your case?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Porms, is there any evidence that you're currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Mr. Porms, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 30 days, credit for time served, tax and retire the court costs.
Okay, Mr. Porms, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail plus court costs of $327. However, you will not have to serve any more time in jail because you've already served 30 days in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time served. And the court costs, you would not have to pay that because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. So therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Porms, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Porms, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Porms, please follow the bailiff and have a good day.
You too, Judge.